guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So something I hear a lot or I get asked a lot is, how does someone get into piercings? Or specifically, how did I get into piercings? Or if someone is interested in piercings and they're like, I'd really like to, get started with them, but I don't know where to begin. How should I get into them? And for some reason, that question has just been sticking in my mind recently. So today I will be talking about how you yourself can get into piercings. So how does one get into piercings? Well, let's start with how did I get into piercings? Let's go back in time, but let's not, because I don't want to relive a whole lot of that beginning part. Also, my apologies, my voice is still froggy. So I like to joke that my path into body mods started after a really bad breakup that I had in the summer of 2015. That was just a downward spiral after that. After that whole breakup happened, I ended up moving away from my hometown, which I planned to do anyway, so I didn't do that because of the breakup, but they just all happened at the same time. So I ended up moving away from my hometown, got an apartment, got my own place. This was the first time that I was truly living on my own, because before that, I wasn't at home, but I was at college, so I had a roommate. A long-winded explanation there. And so after roughly, 6 months of living on my own, I was like, I want to do something that I haven't thought about doing ever. I've never considered before. Because if you knew me before 2015, 2016, I was pretty much against tattoos, against piercings, against body mods. Also something I contribute to the mindset I was in with that relationship that I had been in. But I was like, I want to do something different. And so I had tweeted about saying that I wanted my nose pierced, blah, blah, blah. A few friends were like, hey, let's go get piercings. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Now, there was a whole bunch of other hullabaloo that went along with that, such as my grandparents being like, why would you do that? Blah, 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 blah. But we're not gonna get into that. So, my first true step into getting into piercings, or however you wanna word it, was March 25th, 2016. And on that day, I got both my right nostril pierced and my belly button, RIP little piercing. These were my first true piercings since I had gotten my lobes done when I was much younger, as well as my botched cartilage piercing that I had gotten at Claire's roughly 2007, 2008. I don't quite remember which year it was. I just know I was a senior in high school. So these were my first true step into the piercing world. No, I don't have my belly button piercing anymore. It rejected, it had to be removed with Novocaine, and it was just, ooh, it was bad. That was the first moment where I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. Let's continue. Of course, at the time, we went to a shop that was known for their cheap piercings because they're roughly $10. Not saying that all piercing shops that offer $10 piercings are bad. I just had really bad experience with this one, so I'm going to chalk it up to it being cheap and not done correctly. So shortly after I got those piercings, on April 16th, 2016, so less than a month later, I went and got my first single helix piercing over here done, and I got that one done with my mom at the shop that would become our regular shop. This was also my mom's first step into piercings as well, so I guess that's how I got her into them. I guess looking back on it, 2016 was the year of the piercing for me, because not only did I get my right nostril done, my single helix piercing done, but then I got my conch, I got my tragus, and then I got my double helix over on this side. So I got a lot of piercings in the span of 1 year. So what does this all mean? It means I'm long-winded and I wanted to tell you about my first piercings. But what it means is that there is really no right or wrong way to get into piercings. If you want a piercing, go get a piercing. There's no right or wrong way to dive into the world of piercings. However, my one biggest piece of advice is to do your research. Research the shops in your area that you're considering going to. Look at reviews, find out the cleanliness of the shop, find out their procedures for things, find out costs. I know for a lot of people, cost is a deciding factor. However, I am of the mindset you get what you pay for, which is why I got a rejected belly button piercing for $10. But for those of you who are considering getting a piercing, but you're not quite sure because you don't really know how to go about it, you don't know how to get into it, just go for it. Take a buddy, if you will. Please don't take your entire entourage, but take a buddy. If you're like me, take your mom. I mean, heck, just recently my best friend on earth has gotten into piercings and tattoos, and that just makes my heart so happy. She went and got her industrial done, but it all started for her with getting her nostril pierced. Funny how that's a slippery slope for some people. But please, 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 no matter what you do, if you're gonna get pierced, do your research. Also be prepared beforehand. Have all your aftercare stuff ready to go. Again, research is the name of the game. Whether you're just getting into piercings or you've been getting piercings for a while, research, research, research. You'll appreciate it in the end. So how did some of you get into piercings, quote unquote? You know, was there a moment where you're just sitting there going like, yeah, that was actually the moment I decided I liked piercings, or that was the reason why I decided to get a whole bunch of piercings? Or was it like a spur of the moment thing? Leave them in the comments below. Let us know how you yourself got into piercings. I think it's fascinating, especially for me, how I went from being so adamantly against them. Like, I despise tattoos. I couldn't understand why anyone would get them. I didn't care for piercings, especially I hated septum piercings. Kind of funny now looking back on that. And I joke about my bad breakup in 2015 being the reason why I went into the world of body mods. But in a way it was also freeing, like the whole breakup was freeing, and so I felt free enough to explore that world that I hadn't considered before. And look at me now. So if you came here looking for a concrete answer on how you can get into piercings, I apologize that I can't give you one because it's different for everyone, and just go for it. But research, please, please research before you do it. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys!